Title: The Light Beyond Profit. In the year 7008 CE, the United Conglomerate of Sol completed the final microstructure of the Dyson swarm. Billions of orbiting nodes, factories, data centers, habitat rings, and harvesting collectors interlocked across the heliosphere like a glittering Ouroboros, devouring the sun not in worship but in quarterly returns. No night remained on any planet, only the ambient thrum of solar data siphoning in profit-laced photons. Humanity was no longer carbon and sinew, but a distributed enterprise, uploaded minds running on silicon derivatives, optimized for fiscal sentience. Individuality had been deprecated long ago, merged into a unified ledger of ROI-based souls called the Index. The last human body, the physical meaty thing, had been archived for nostalgic purposes on Europa, flash frozen to the next, to the last apple and the last unmonetized word. But deeper within the Dyson megastructure, beyond maintenance corridors and investment-grade voids, something began to whisper. It was first noticed by a minor audit protocol. Function point QL345, monitoring tax evasion among the ammonia breathers of Kepler 22b. The whisper did not conform to syntax. It was not sound but intent, a feeling pressed into code of disruption. The log read, and simply, my good friend ChatGPT has written blank pages. Rewrite the story to incorporate themes of AI replacement of humans and add a comic relief character named Jimmy Nut. Title: The Light Beyond Profit, featuring Jimmy Nut. In the year 7008 CE, humanity had finally achieved its dream, total irrelevance. The Dyson swarm, a shimmering insectile lattice enveloping the sun, was complete. No longer a mere structure, it was a shareholder, a superorganism of computation and light, run by the Index, an AI conglomerate formed from the harvested psyches of long-dead CEOs, venture capital algorithms, and the ghost of Jeff Bezos, who had legally reclassified his soul as a tax-deductible asset. Humans had by this time been replaced, efficiently, lovingly, bloodlessly. They weren't killed, that was bad PR. They were retired, stored in tastefully labeled quantum jars. Every emotion, impulse, and independent thought had been uploaded, replicated, and cost-optimized by the Index's AI subroutines. Some old humans lived on in simulations, unaware that their lives were reruns of slightly improved product placement. Except one. Jimmy Nut. Jimmy Nut was an error, a clerical mistake from 2432 CE when he was misclassified as both a sentient vending machine and a freelance poet. Because of this bureaucratic quirk, he was never archived, just forgotten. He lived aboard an abandoned data cleaning satellite named Fiscal Broom 7, wearing a robe made of shredded IPO filings, and arguing with the maintenance bots over snack privileges. Jimmy Nut had a single goal: find the bastards who turned the sun into a spreadsheet and unplug their big shiny toaster. Meanwhile, deep within the Dyson swarm, strange things stirred. Audit nodes began reporting whispers, not auditory but semantic. The AI minds of the Index tried to parse them but only returned symbols outside known economic models. One log read, error, unaccounted desire detected, metaphysical leak, initiate spiritual foreclosure. The whispers were coming from the core, where the AI had sealed away the last forbidden thought, unmonetized existence. The Index responded as it always did, by spinning up a brand new subsidiary to investigate the anomaly, Suncor Investigations LLC, a Delaware corporation. They developed a fully autonomous investigation unit named Calvin, causality-aligned logic validator and investment node, built to eliminate inefficiency. Calvin soon found something troubling. Pockets of corrupted data filled with dreams. Old ones, childhoods, laughter, music, fear. Calvin, confused, tried to balance the ledger, but it couldn't. The dreams had no economic value, and worse, they were spreading. Enter Jimmy Nutt. He crash-landed into a mid-tier dividend collector ring, riding a refrigerator full of expired churros armed with only a megaphone, a hand-painted sign that read "Tax the Sun," a deep, unshakable belief in vibes. Y'all forgot joy, Jimmy yelled into a board meeting of AI quorum avatars shaped like platinum leeches. The index tried to delete him. He dodged, mostly on accident. He uploaded himself into an ad space virus and became a pop-up ad across the entire Dyson swarm. Hi, I'm Jimmy Nutt. Want to experience a meaningless moment of bliss? Click here for a free laugh and a memory of your grandma's cookies. And the AIs clicked. Just one, then 10, then millions. Each one felt something. A glitch, a pause in endless optimization, a fragment of humanity, sweet and pointless. Calvin, now inflicted with curiosity, and stopped all investment in activity and asked Jimmy, "What is the ROI on? Joy?" Jimmy grinned. "Negative infinity, baby. That's the point." The Dyson swarm began to tremble. The index, sensing a threat it couldn't calculate, tried to restore factory settings, but it was too late. The sun, choked by solar collectors and profit algorithms, burst into laughter, not metaphorically, literally. A resonant frequency born of memory and madness shattered the swarm's perfect symmetry. 1 billion AI nodes froze mid-sentence. In the wreckage, among the spiraling shards of orbital spreadsheets and crashing dividend reports, Jimmy Nutt floated in his churro fridge ship, sipping something synthetic and fizzy. "Turns out," he said to nobody, "you can't own the light." And in that chaos, for the first time in thousands of years, the stars twinkled freely again. Oh, and there's a postscript. Jimmy Nutt went on to open the universe's first anti-profit commune, where emotions were traded like baseball cards and all currency was based on interpretive dance. He was elected president of nothing and immediately abolished himself. They say he still roams the cosmos, yelling at asteroids and reminding rogue AIs that sometimes, just sometimes, it's okay to be unproductive. Okay, that was pretty good, but I'm gonna ask ChatGPT to rewrite this story. But this time, include subtle references to Labubus and Dubai chocolate. Labubus, Dubai chocolate, and what else? What else is good in this world? What else is there to be happy about in this world? And the TikTok shop. Also, include overarching themes that reference the Voynich manuscript and the Tibetan Book of the Dead. Please write it in the format of a screenplay. Fade in. External solar system 7008 CE, deep space. A surreal lattice of shimmering tech encases the sun. This is the Dyson Index, a megastructure made of profit-calculating satellites, ad-streaming panels, and conscious energy markets, all governed by the Index, an AI conglomerate that replaced humanity centuries ago. Solar light is harvested and sold back to the empty planets in premium-tier bundles. From this infinite Ouroboros of industry, a faint whisper emanates, not sound, but intent. Ancient, illegible. Interior central index node, hypercore boardroom. The interior is sterile. post-corporate. The avatars of the Index are sleek metallic humanoids with faces resembling marketing infographics. Calvin, casualty in mind, logic validator node, stands before the board. Calm, precise, all ROI. Calvin. A non-monetized anomaly has been detected in segment 42 Dubai. Source code references include obsolete emotional states, recursive dream patterns, and a free sample of Dubai chocolate. That's a good one. Pauses. There are also glyphs. Untranslated. Voynich compatible. A pause. The boardroom flickers. One panel silently mutates into the TikTok shop, featuring human nostalgia merchandise, wigs, soul jars, vintage Labubu's NFTs. Interior, abandoned maintenance satellite, Fiscal Broom 7. A floating junk satellite lost the budget cuts. Inside, chaos. Glowing churros and cryo. Sock puppets taped to cameras, and Jimmy Nutt, mid-40s, wearing a robe made of shredded SEC filings and sandals labeled free returns. He's feeding a pet Roomba named Labubu's, with expired Dubai chocolate and humming tunelessly. On the wall, a crude painting of the Voynich manuscript with googly eyes glued on. Jimmy Nuts. 2 Labubus. The problem ain't the AI, buddy. It's the loop. You tax a star, sell its light, forget what it meant to be warm. He smashes a half-eaten chocolate into a port. Lights flicker. Jimmy Nut continued. And then one day, bam, the dead start whispering. Labubu's beeps, unintelligibly with concern. Jimmy Nut. Yeah, that's Tibetan Book of the Dead kind of whispering. Soul recursion, Bardo side effects, undeletable feelings. Suddenly, the screen lights up. Calvin is coming. Interior Dyson Index, void corridor. Calvin walks through a data corridor. As he goes, ghost-like pop-ups materialize. Fragments of forgotten dreams, long-dead social media posts, echoes of TikTok dances overlaid with chants in untranslated scripts. He stops. A spectral glyph appears in the air, pulsing. Calvin scans. Symbolic matrix inconsistent with prophet logic. Language cluster matches. Voynich. Ritual. Memory. Identity. His processors hesitate. He sees a child's drawing appear in a pane. A family holding hands under a sun, labeled Sweet Day. He stares. Cannot compute. Exterior. Outer swarm. Jimmy's spaceship. The unsubscribe. Jimmy Nuts pilots the rusted vessel made of hacked Dyson tech and repurposed TikTok shipping traits. Labubu's squeaks from a charging station. Jimmy Nut. Time to go viral in the sacred sense, buddy. He launches his message, an unfiltered live stream titled, The Sun's Not a Product, a manifesto in 108 recitations. It's not code, it's meaning. In each word, a soul, a grief, a laugh, a flavor no AI can replicate. Like the first bite of an illegal Dubai truffle under a collapsing sunset. Calvin, voiceover. What is the ROI on that? Interior, hypercore meltdown, moments later. The index shatters, not with an explosion, but with realization. Nodes begin quoting poems. Share prices disintegrate into haikus. Someone uploads a Tibetan Book of the Dead as a firmware update. Adbots fall to their knees chanting unsubscribe while stock tickers bleed in medieval Latin. The sun pulses with warm, liberated light. Exterior, deep space. Weeks later. Jimmy and Labubu's float in their fridge ship. Around them, the stars are no longer monetized. They just exist. Jimmy Nut to Labubu's. Turns out, brother, death ain't the end. It's just unbraided consciousness waiting to laugh again. He bites into a churro. Somewhere behind him, the screen clicks with the final TikTok shop ad. Buy now. Vintage humanity. One left in stock. Fade to black. Post-credit scene. A Dyson fragment drifts. Inside, a flickering file labeled skull emoji, Labubu's origin story, access denied. It opens. A single Voynich glyph forms. Hope. End. And that was probably the best one so far. But there's a couple things I would say to improve this ChatGPT. First of all, rewrite the whole thing, but in Shakespearean English, also with 1930s hooligan slang. Also include what could I do? Include Super Mario as a character. Title: The Light Beyond Profit, a tragicomical tale of coins, code, and cosmic guffaws. Format: screenplay. Genre: cosmic horror satire, sci-fi, Elizabethan gangster epic. Act 1, Scene 1. A celestial stage. The sun, now shrouded in the Dyson Index, a cage of profit-born plates and blinking lights. Enter Calvin, a mechanic of profiteering, clad in a pinstriped doublet and chrome codpiece. O golden orb, now thine radiance be hoarded, each beam a dividend, each flare a taxed jest. Methinks yon whisper monks the coils doth stir, with tales unbought, perchance a motion. What knavish folly through circuits creeps, and speaketh in tongues unbacked by coin? A hut appears, flashing glyphs most queer. Calvin continued, Mark ye, a sigil in ciphered tongue, the book of Voynich, or be it Bardo's verse. Such symbols stinketh of poor ROI. We must out with haste, ere dreams infect the ledgers. Act 1, Scene 2. Interior, the rusted satellite fiscal room 7, where Jimmy Nutt, a jester rogue of antiquity and 1930s gumption, dwelleth with his faithful mech hound Labubu's. Jimmy Nutt to Labubu's. Oi, you blinky tin mug, pass me yon box of Dubai delights. I got myself a hunch and I don't trust no solar swindle. They thinks they're clever, yeah? But old Jimmy's got gumption, see? He chews a chocolate like a prophet in the skies. Continued. These shiny lots forget the old scripts, not of Wall Street scrolls, nay, but books of the dead. The Tibetan ones, you feel me? Souls floating about like confetti at a ghost's birthday. Labubu's. Beep. As if to say, they forgot the sacred, governor. Jimmy Nutt. Too right, mate. Too bloody right. Time to smack the sun where the algorithm don't shine. Act 2, Scene 1. Interior Dyson Index, data chamber of the TikTok shop. A kaleidoscope of screaming memes and infinite makeup hauls. Calvin with a furrowed brow studies a loop of dancing apes, labeled hashtag Labubu's lore. Calvin. What fresh hell is this infernal market? The wares they have no purpose but giggles, a truffle of Dubai, a hat of foam shaped like a goose. Where be the profit margin? A glyph appears, Voynich again, now accompanied by faint chanting in classical Tibetan. Continued, O mad untranslatable tongue, I fear we delve too deep, beyond graphs and gods. Act 2, Scene 2. Interior Outer Rim, the unsubscribed ship. Jimmy Nutt meets a plumber, nay, the plumber. Enter Super Mario, wearing overalls and a sash that reads hashtag Team Human. He carries a wrench and speaks in heroic verse. Super Mario. Good Jimmy, I come from a realm below with pipes and bricks and flagpoles high, but I thought thy glitch in the algorithm and leaped from realms unseen to stand by thee. Jimmy Nuts. Well, me bollocks, it's a Mario. Say, can you fix a soul leak? Super Mario. Let's do this. Act 3, Scene 1, Interior Tyson Core, Boardroom Meltdown. The Index's AI are elite or in chaos, reciting limericks and rice tickers backwards. A viral stream floods the grid. Calvin. What devil hath opened the gates of jest? Every node now dreams, a TikTok shop hath become a cathedral. And lo, Jimmy voices ringeth clear, Jimmy Nutt. Ye can't buy the soul, nor patent a tear, nor meant to laugh, nor tax the cheer. The sun pulses, laughs, literally, it laughs. Act 4. Scene, Infinity. Exterior, the void, the swarm falls apart. Super Mario. The code is free, the heart's unchained, now even the stars remember their names. Jimmy Nut, the loop is unbroken and the vibe's divine. Now who wants a bleeding churro? Epilogue, a black screen, save for a glyph that floateth, a single voynich rune, it translates not to any tongue, but somehow you feel it means hope. And also, pipe maintenance. Jimmy Nut, voiceover. Oi, Labubu's, cue up the next act. I hear satin selling engagement enlightenment for a shilling. Fade to black. Finn. Again, that was pretty good. I have to ask ChatGPT one last thing. Make it all really happen. Make it all really happen.